What's up, comic book community? Joe here with another episode of 360 Comics. I am not sure why I'm recording this from my phone. I just decided to do so for this video, so here we go. Let me know in the comments below if you like it. Today, I bought not just one, but two comic book collections, two smaller ones, so I figured I'd put them together in one video, and yeah, I found some pretty good stuff in there. Stay tuned. Don't forget, this slab right here is the prize for our March and April giveaway. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up for a like, and leave a comment down below. And then check out our other videos from March and April. Like them and leave comments on them for additional entries. And I'll also be giving away two more prizes as part of that giveaway. Haven't decided on them yet. And of course, go follow us over on Instagram because we're giving away this book as part of our 9,000 follower giveaway. Good luck. All right, first up, we've got a small Silver Age collection that came in this little bin right here. I paid $150 for it. There's a bunch of junk in there, ripped up pages, partial covers, and things like that. I pulled these two Metal Men books out. My dad read those as a kid, so I've been trying to collect that run for him. And we got a pile over here of the dollar bin stuff. Richie Riches, Archie's, coverless books, returned copies, things like that. But a decent-sized pile of $5 books, mostly low-grade Silver Age DC, but some other titles as well, Marvel, Charlton, and some decent Dell Disney stuff. Then we got a pile, smaller pile, but still decent size, of $10 books, mostly low-grade popular titles and things like that. But let's get into the 10 best books. First up, we've got X-Men number 16. Unfortunately, this book is mangled. The front cover is detached. There is no back cover. It is super, super low grade. Incomplete, in fact, because it doesn't have that back cover. But that book normally sells for $100+. So even in the condition it's in, I'm going to mark it at 15 bucks. Speaking of books that are damaged in some way, we've got Avengers number 19. First appearance of the Swordsman, but as you can see, it's been colored in. Those bubbles around the characters should be white. So should the Avengers logo. Someone took a red marker to this book. And it was low grade anyway, so whatever. Cheap copy for someone who wants a reader. Then we got Our Army at War, number 141. This is a book I did not know about until I looked it up on Key Collector. Most of this war stuff I'm not familiar with, but this is the first appearance of Shaker. Decent book, but the cover is detached, so I'm going to have to sell it for a much lower price than if it was a sharper copy. Then we got Star Spangled War Stories, number 152. I kind of thought this one was a key, and I ended up being right about that. I don't know why, but maybe I owned this before. This is the second appearance of Unknown Soldier, who's featured on the cover right up there. First appearance is much, much more expensive than this, but still a decent key to grab. Then we got Fantastic Four, number 78. Not a key issue, but, you know, you can't go wrong with Silver Age Jack Kirby goodness on that Fantastic Four cover. And that is one of the better-looking books in this whole collection. Speaking of the better-looking ones, we got Amazing Spider-Man number 64 as one of the higher-grade ones. By higher grade, I mean higher side of mid-grade. Decent copy. Actually, probably better than my personal collection copy, so I'm probably going to switch that one out. Then we got this one right here, Avengers Annual number 1. First meetup of the original Avengers and the current Avengers team when this came out. This would have been a couple years after the Avengers had been around, probably like 67 or 68. So a team up between the old Avengers and the new. Then this book right here. I love this book. It is so, it's like such a sign of the times. This is Detective Comics number 371. And as you can see on the cover, Batman saying, "Batgirl, get over here. Help us. We've got a problem." And she says, "I have a bigger problem. A run in my tights." Like, what the heck? That is just not realistic at all. That book would never come out nowadays. Definitely a little sexist there, but the cool thing about this book is that it features the Batmobile as it is stylized in the 1960s Adam West Batman television show. So first time they used that in the comic books, and I believe they used that for a long time after in the books. Then we got this bad boy right here. I've never owned this book before. Detective Comics number 373, the second appearance of Mr. Freeze, and the first time he goes by that name, Mr. Freeze. Prior to this, he appears in Batman 141 as Mr. Zero, and then, yep, you saw it out of the corner already. This was the best book in the bunch. Awesome Jim Steranko cover on Incredible Hulk Annual number 1. One of the most iconic covers of the later part of the Silver Age. It's been homaged so many times, and I just picked up a copy a couple months ago, if you remember, in that Hulk collection. This one's definitely higher grade than that, so I will probably keep this one in the PC and end up selling the other one. So overall, really, really solid pickup. Again, I paid $150 for all this stuff. I think that easily it's probably worth about $400 to $500. So I did really well. All right, on to the second collection of the day, and this one was about the same size as the first collection, but it was pretty much made up entirely of late 80s and early 90s stuff, with the exception of a couple books, and of course that stuff is not as expensive, so I only paid $75 for this, exactly half of what I paid for that first collection. There were some nice sets in there, though. We got Warlock and the Infinity Watch, and there was issues number 1 through 10, so a nice little set there, and the full 6-issue run of Infinity War. Always really loved this cover with Adam Warlock front and center and Wolverine and Cap on either side. Love that one. Then we're moving up here to Spawn. Of course, every 90s collection is going to have at least a Spawn number 1, if not all of these issues right here. Unfortunately, it stopped dead right at 8. No issue number 9, First Angela, but number 1, pretty good book. And then the best little set I got right here from the late 80s, the first Wolverine ongoing series, and a pretty sharp copy of number 1, and a newsstand of number 5. So nice little set there. Again, this one stops dead at issue 6, so no issue 8 or 10, which are some of the keys in the run. But there were some decent books up here. We got Spectacular number 178. That's the first Ashley Kafka. We got the second printing of Spectacular number 189 with that anniversary cover, and the first printing of Web of Spider-Man 26. We have the first appearance in full of Spider-Man 2099 in issue number 1 of that run. The first book of the Maximum Carnage run, as well as the first appearance of Shriek, Spider-Man Unlimited number 1. X-Men number 248, that is the first Jim Lee art on an X-Men cover, and that is the second printing with that gold background. Of course, another book that's in pretty much every 90s collection, Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man number 1, the first comic book I ever owned. And then we got Ghost Rider number 15, that is the first ever glow-in-the-dark cover, and you don't see newsstands that very often, so I was happy to find that. Moving down to this row, we got a signed Batman 500, signed right down at the bottom there by Doug Mensch. Then we got the first appearance of Bishop, another staple of 90s collections, X-Men number 282. Some people call this first cameo, but he's on the cover and in the back of the book on the last page, so this one is the one that people really gravitate to as far as purchasing it. Whether you think it's a cameo or not, this is definitely the one that holds the most value. Invincible number 69. This is the first appearance of Ultima. I might be remembering that incorrectly because Invincible is not my forte. I don't know too much about this. In fact, I have not yet watched any episodes of the television show, and I know I need to get on that. And last but not least, 2 issues of Silver Age Silver Surfer. Did not expect to see these in a collection with, these 80s and 90s books, but issue number 9, pretty low grade, beat up and stuff, and then issue number 18, a little bit nicer looking, not terrible, probably lower side of mid-grade. And that is the last issue of the run. This was canceled after just 18 issues. Surprisingly, with how popular it is. And that might be why those books are so expensive now, especially in higher grade. All in all, the Wolverine is most of the value in this. Like I said, I paid $75 for all this stuff. I should be able to double up to possibly triple up, somewhere around that range, just like the last collection. So overall, great buy. That is it, folks. Two collections in one day, both on the smaller side, but I got them for a great price. Just to recap, I spent $225 for the two collections in total. And honestly, I think I can double up on these in my sleep. And, if I put the time and effort in, I might even be able to triple up with some work. And that's just great. Definitely a great purchase. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought about these purchases and this interesting video style that I chose to do. If it's terrible, let me know so I don't ever do it again. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like the video on the way out and, of course, leave a comment. And until next time, turn the page, wash your hands.